a un programa de Dr. Lizi, Retos Femeninos. Díganme de dónde se están uniendo, me da muchísimo gusto poder acompañarlos en su transformación, que es la mía también. Y el día de hoy tenemos un hombre espectacular, tenemos un invitado. Gracias, Giovanni, Yani Suárez, Agustín, Carmona, bienvenidos todos. Díganme de dónde se están uniendo, porque nuestro invitado nos acompaña desde Australia. Y déjenme decirles que yo tuve el gusto de conocer a Matt Riemann en un evento que organizó Fab Machine de Fab Life, que de hecho tiene un evento muy próximamente en enero. Y fue increíble lo que sucedió, porque yo no sabía ni siquiera que era Matt. ¿Quién era Matt? ¿Qué hacía Matt? Y entonces yo era cuando estaba muy mal del estómago. Pues, ¿qué creen? Que quien me sanó fue Matt Riemann. Y fue increíble la ayuda que él tuvo en el proceso que yo he vivido y que es el que les comparto a través de estos grandes maestros. Y uno de ellos es Matt. Y les quiero leer un poquito acerca de nuestro gran invitado del día de hoy. Matt Riemann es un visionario, pero es un visionario en la intersección entre la ciencia, la evolución humana, el liderazgo transformacional. O sea, Matt es un experto de renombre mundial. Matt es un hombre que consulta en las Naciones Unidas. Es un hombre que también trabaja con la Organización Mundial de la Salud. Es un hombre que ha hecho una convergencia entre medicina del futuro e inteligencia artificial. Bueno, este gran visionario, además de todo esto, fue bendecido con dones y con habilidades sobrenaturales que pone al servicio de la humanidad desde hace 25 años. Y además de todo esto, Matt tiene una aplicación increíble, que tiene un objetivo y un propósito maravilloso, que es erradicar el dolor, erradicar las enfermedades. Para él, les voy a decir, ¿para qué año? Él dice que para el 2050, y probablemente lo logre antes. Porque este espacio se abre para Matt el día de hoy, a quien le vamos a dar la bienvenida en un momentito más, porque quiero que todos ustedes, aunque la entrevista va a ser en inglés, pero después va a tener los subtítulos en español para todos ustedes, yo quiero que ustedes conozcan gente que ha llegado a mi vida a transformarla, y Matt es uno de ellos. Entonces, con esta enorme emoción de esta increíble comunidad, que les agradezco que siempre estén conmigo, porque están buscando ustedes mismos sentirse, verse y funcionar mejor. Bueno, pues déjenme presentarles a mi querido Matt Riemann, que se nos une desde Matt, muy pronto en la pantalla. Matt, are you there? My dear Matt, I can't see you yet, sweetie, but I hope I can see you very soon. There you go. Matt, let me get this up a little bit. Oh, my dear Matt.
Hello, Lizzie.
How are you? Welcome. Welcome to all the Spanish-speaking community that now will have the blessing of meeting you as I met you in Dr. Fab's amazing event in the Breakers. So my dear Matt, my dear friend, my dear healer, how are you? It's very early over there in Australia, right? Good morning, Australia.
Good morning, Lizzie. It's so nice to be here with you today. I am amazing, and I'm so excited for 2024 and really looking forward to our conversation today. So thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you so much, Matt. I mean, everybody, I'm sure that is joining us from many parts of the world know you, many. But Maybe some don't. And who can talk about this amazing human being that's in the show today, which is Matt Riemann, the new. Can you tell us a little bit about your story? Because I'm going to share how you even healed me, Matt. You were a very important process of my healing process, which obviously wasn't only the stomach. And I want to thank you publicly because Dr. Betty, which is going to be very soon in Orlando with all you guys in Dr. Fab's event, saw your healing, supernatural, beautiful, amazing powers, and my body felt them too. So I'm talking from my heart for everybody that's joining us. But this is me. This is how my soul met you. I would like everybody else to meet this amazing human being in your own words, dear Matt. You've done so much. You're amazing.
Thank you so much, Lizi. You're very, 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 very kind. So my background, I'm a scientist by trade. I have a Bachelor and Masters of Applied Human Sciences. I was absolutely fascinated with the human body when I was first to my growth stage, and I was really, really interested in learning more and more about that. I ended up teaching doctors for about almost 15 years in biochemistry, physiology, anatomy, and all those exciting things in that world. And I was a university lecturer at a few universities in Australia for almost 15 years as well. And so I was very firmly planted in science and medicine, very, very interested in the human body, just always wanted to learn more and more about it. And I never knew why when I was younger, but now obviously that all makes sense. But I also had some things along my journey I discovered, which was some gifts and abilities to be able to see things a little bit differently to just the standard human eye. And I could see things in people and hear or understand things in people that weren't normal. And it took me a little while to figure that out. But I really started to understand that more in my early 20s. And so it's been, I guess, the last 20 to 25 years of my journey has been really trying to understand the unseen world and trying to really make sense of that with this science and medicine understanding of the tangible world. And it's been a really interesting journey to be on. And I've been very, very lucky and blessed to witness many, many incredible and miraculous healings along my journey, and just some of the things that are possible out there. It's almost like I can just see them very, very tangibly and very vividly. It's not a sort of let me channel in and let me kind of try and visualize or try and feel into it. It's just the information's there, and it kind of just comes through. So I've really, really enjoyed sharing that with people. I grew up in a really incredible family where we were just all about unconditional love and service, and so that's just been part of my journey. I got imprinted with some really good beliefs growing up, and feel really lucky and blessed to be able to just share these gifts with the world and do that at a greater scale. So I'm excited about that, and I'm really glad as we met in Florida, that's actually how we met. I think we were sitting around with Dr. Betty and your sister and yourself, and we got talking, and we ended up just doing some experiences, which was really cool. So I'm very, very grateful to be part of the journey with you, Lizi, and really glad that we met. And thank you again for having us on your show.
Thank you so much for your words. And I mean, you were short in all the things you do, because I know you consult for many very important entities in the world. And I also know that you're the founder of an incredible app that has a mission and a vision to help the world to heal by 2050. And I have so many questions for you, but please remind me to talk about this app, because I saw an interview that they made to you in Australia. I think it was the news. And it was so interesting when you were talking about the different types of bodies and how for that type of body, certain type of food is good, but for another type of body, it's not. And that you can do that in the app, and that people actually can, instead of downloading TikTok for the 29th millionth time that day, like give themselves a minute to look at how their body is working I mean, that is amazing. And I want, obviously, all the Spanish community, all the people that speak Spanish would form such an important part of the United States too, but also of the world. I mean, there you are in Australia, here I am in Mexico, but there's people that are joining us from Argentina, from Colombia, from Spain, from everywhere. And I hope someday, very soon, dear Matt, we also, the people don't yet speak English, but very soon will, can also be blessed with the opportunity of having that app in Spanish.
Well, thank you, Lizi. Well, I have been very, very lucky to consult lots of organizations such as United Nations, World Health Organization, a lot of different governments around the world on the concepts or the philosophies around precision health, future medicine, and the convergence of AI in healthcare and health technology. So it's that in my science and medicine life, that's been a really incredible journey. And I actually got diagnosed with a terminal illness about
with what?
A terminal illness was
terminal illness.
Yeah, that was a part of my journey, and
how many?
A lot of the work that we do today.
How many years ago was that?
That was probably about 20 years ago now, I think, almost 20 years ago. And
what terminal? Can I ask you what terminal illness it was?
It was called familial amyloid polyneuropathy, which is a neurodegenerative disease as well as an autoimmune disease together. And I had a mutation in my TTR gene. It was a genetic diagnosis, and there was no real solutions or answers. And I went through many, many years of constant pain, and I was always sick, and I couldn't get better. And so I had a lot of issues when I was younger in that aspect, and many, many years of trying every single thing under the sun, all the different diets and the exclusionary protocols and all the medications and everything. I did everything, and nothing helped. And so the work that we do today really spawned from a lot of that back then, to start to understand what it was about my unique self that needed to be addressed or needed to change in different ways. We got to the point with the medical community about that they were going to try a liver transplant. And I said, well, what's that going to do? And they said, we don't really know, but we're going to see if that can help. And that was the sort of point for me to say, this is ridiculous and crazy. There's got to be a different way to do this. So that was really the spark of a lot of the work we do today, which was just understanding about each unique person, because all the protocols and all the medications and all the things I tried didn't work for me. And so I needed to actually seek out and find out what worked for me specifically. They may have worked for other people, but didn't work for me. And so what I learned along the journey was really, really important, actually. And it was that the principles are actually the same for every single person, which is find out what's right for you. It's just the particulars are very different for each person, which is make sure you specifically know what to do for you. And so that really helped me understand things. I eliminated protein completely out of my diet. I found out it was to do with digestive enzymes that weren't processing the protein well enough. And I was very fit and healthy back then. I was, going to the gym, surfing regularly, running, riding bikes, etc. I was very, very healthy, had a great lifestyle. I didn't really have much stress. So it didn't make a lot of sense conventionally as to why I was having so many issues. But I was able to identify the things that were the problem through precision medicine to really understand how to navigate that for me. And that was a really big changing point, because what I found out was two main things. One, my body didn't process protein very well. And two, I was living in the wrong climate. And so I actually moved location from down at the south part of Australia up to the northeast of Australia, where the climate is much more humid and much, much warmer. And immediately, like within about 2 or 3 weeks, I think my symptoms reduced to about half. Within a few months, my symptoms are completely gone. It's amazing.
I hear a calling, my dear. Yeah, I totally understand you. And I want to ask the people that are joining us, if it hasn't happened to them, because maybe, the way I met you is because you healed me. But how many doctors have I been to? How many medicines brought one illness to the other? After we met, the antibiotics caused a severe candidiasis intestinal, which went to blood, which almost killed me. And today I'm just understanding so much that everybody is so different. And maybe you that are joining us in this space, the most important thing we have is time. Maybe you haven't been feeling well, and then the doctors tell you the same thing one after the other, and then you go and do it. But something's not clicking. So here, Matt, what you do is help people identify the cause of their illness so they can address this. But when people hear about biohacking or they hear about amazing medical scientific technologies, automatically they think it's something they cannot afford. And it's incredible because part of what you have designed is the possibility to get there without the enormous cost that many amazing, incredible biohacking techniques have. Like if I could have one of those hyperbaric capsules, I will definitely have one as soon as I can, you know, because I know that's cool and it'll help you, but we can't everybody afford the hyperbaric in your living room. No, so this is an app. That's amazing. Matt, tell us about how you can arrive or how you can see the human being, because I know there's something very special in you. I would like you to tell us how you see the human beings, the humans, the people. What do you see?
Thank you, Lizzie. I would love to share about that. And just before I do, to wrap up the context around the technology, I know that a lot of people are interested in that conversation, is what we learned along the way. Everybody was so different, and I was so different, and we designed this technology that could actually quantify somebody using their smartphone. And now we have the potential to be able to actually scan your body on the outside with a smartphone camera, just like we're doing with Instagram Live right now. Can scan your body and it understands your health on the inside and can tell you all about yourself, and down to the specific gene expression that's happening, which means that you can know exactly the right food, and it will consider your location in Mexico right now. It'll know about the deficiencies in vitamins and minerals in your body, about the hormones that are most active, about your brain regions that are most dominant, and it'll actually be able to prescribe. It'll search your local area for foods that are available. It'll match the vitamins and the minerals in the foods to the deficiencies in your body, and even create like meal plans with AI in real time for you to actually follow and do. So it's very, very cool technology, very Star Trek-y and advanced. And we've just finished testing it on 150,000 people over the last 5 years to see how the effectiveness is. And we showed
reversal. 151,000?
Yeah. Lizzie, the best thing is we showed reversal of diabetes, reversal of heart disease, reversal of obesity, improvements in every wellness variable like sleep or stress or vitality. And this is against international gold standards. So we did this with universities in Australia. The results are being published right now. They should be out in the next few months, actually. And we're really excited. This is just with AI and a smartphone, nothing else. No doctors, no coaches. So really exciting opportunities and potential for people. So if anyone's interested, we'd love to check it out. It's shae.ai, SHAE.ai. You can check that out. And it's a really exciting conversation. And when we first did this, it was about, I think the first one we did was probably about $50,000 to do it. Then went down to $10,000 and went down again. And these days we have it for people for $197 for an entire year, just to do whatever you need anytime. It's like essentially the cost of seeing a doctor to be able to manage your own health with it. It does mindfulness and stress and sleep and you have foods and exercise and everything that's in there based on who you specifically are, and you're very different to everyone. There's not a single person in the world that gets the same information.
Incredible.
And the AI will actually talk to you at different times, in different ways, in different tones, to engage you, to help you, to support you. So I just wanted to ensure everybody could have a bit more of an accurate piece on the technology, because it's really exciting what's possible. And you're right that our mission is to actually help people in the world at scale to be able to be empowered to put their health in their own hands. And we're hoping to impact billions of lives in that way. So we're very excited about that. So that's the way that we're using technology to leverage understanding about health. But to your question about how do I see people in different
No,
ways.
wait, before you, go into this is amazing. Obviously, queridas, I need to do a little translation here.
Okay.
Please, before you start speaking Spanish ASAP, because we all need shy.ai in Spanish too.
Yes.
Maybe it is, you never know. Or maybe it can become in this transformational, amazing world very soon. Déjenme decirles que mi querido Matt, después van a caer todos los... Matt Riemann es un gran científico y como les decía, está uniendo temas súper importantes de medicina, de inteligencia artificial y además es una aplicación que se llama Shai, S-H-A-I, Shai.ai, Shai.ai. Voy a poner el link abajo. Pero es algo increíble porque es algo que literal tú bajas de tu teléfono. Me estaba contando en este momento que con la cámara de tu teléfono, de la aplicación, tú puedes escanear tu cuerpo y va este sistema, el de Shai.ai, ahorita se los pongo, va a escanear tu cuerpo y lo que va a hacer es ser como tu doctor personalizado, porque lo que estábamos comentando es que cada ser humano es diferente y si a ti te había pasado lo que estábamos diciendo Matt y yo, a Matt le diagnosticaron una enfermedad terminal hace muy poquito tiempo, bueno, muy poquito tiempo porque eso nunca se te quita, pero gracias a eso lo que él hizo fue empezar a entender que su cuerpo, por ejemplo, no digería proteínas. Cuando le decían, mírate, échate el protein drink, y eso a él lo estaba matando porque no tenía esas enzimas digestivas. También estaba comentando que para su cuerpo, el estar en un lugar húmedo y cálido es mucho mejor y que por eso se mudó a la otra parte de su país. Y eso automáticamente mejoró en un porcentaje altísimo su salud, todo él. Entonces diseñó esta app para que sea tu amiga, para que sea tu compañero. Te dice desde dónde poder conseguir comida orgánica, hasta qué tipo de comida a ti te hace daño y qué tipo de alimentos no deberías de consumir, aunque te diga quien te diga, porque es algo además que está al alcance de todos, que por eso me siento tan feliz, tan honrada, tan orgullosa de tener un ser humano increíble con nosotros, que nos acompaña desde Australia, que vuela, me parece que mañana a Estados Unidos y pronto va a estar seguramente hablando de esto en las Naciones Unidas. Y el hecho de que tú hoy seas parte de esto, pues abre la posibilidad de que Shai también llegue en español a mucha gente que quiere sentirse mejor y que quiere no tener que ir corriendo a la clínica para que lo consulten. Así que dicho eso, les voy a poner el link abajo, pero eso es una de las cosas. Y ahorita la pregunta que le estoy haciendo a Matt es cómo él ve a los seres humanos. Y bueno, pues vamos a empezar a arrancarnos en inglés de nuevo. Matt, I just gave like a little shy and how it's like sometimes we do not have time, curiously. It should be our most important time that we should invest, but usually isn't, in ourselves and our health, because then we can do all the other things. And when we've been there, feeling like you don't have any energy, and I would love our friends to tell them if they have been there, because some people get really sick and then they can't do anything or feel super sick, like when you met me. So this is a blessing. And I was telling them about Shai, that how important it is to acknowledge that health and biohacking, and you don't got to go to the doctor and wait for the appointment in 3 days, and you can like have a really AI super pro tech in your telephone. I have to ask a question, you know, that's important. What's the accuracy of this platform? What is the accuracy of Shai?
Yeah, we're at 96% at the moment, Lizi, which is about as good as you get with any of the AI programs. So it's our MAPE score, they call it. And it means that we can scan people to be very, very accurate to correlate what's happening inside their body. And it sounds very Star Trekky because it kind of is these days to be able to scan your body with a phone and understand the health on the inside. But we've actually been building this for 20 years. It's been a long project with incredible minds across science and medicine, the most incredible people that are involved in this that want to just change the world. And we started by actually measuring people. Like if you walked into a clinic, a doctor would measure you, the circumference of your head and your neck and the length of your fingers, and note down about your eye color and your hair color and your freckles and your moles and all these different things that's there. And then take your blood tests and take your genetic snips and take all these things. And now we're able just to scan the body to then correlate with the things that we actually have. So it's a really, really exciting time to be alive, I think, where technology, which is what we stand for, tech for good, of course, that's our main mission, to be able to leverage technology to help us. And it's not just the health side of things. It's not just medical for people, because we've got a very strong integration around the behavioral intelligence. So not just biological intelligence, but behavioral intelligence. And what that means is that we can already understand how Lizi is likely to think, act, and behave before we even have to, meet you, just from scanning your body. And so the AI then uses that to help you with, let's say, for example, you might find it hard to follow a diet, or you might find it hard to get out of bed and do some exercise, or you might find it tough to get to sleep at night, or you might find things in the world that pop up for you quite stressful. And it knows this about you and makes predictions about that. And then it will talk to you in advance intuitively to let you know the things to do to be able to prevent that from happening, whether it's stressful situations, whether it's people that you hang out with that cause stress or help with stress, whether it's what time to wake up to have the most amount of energy for the day, through to sleep routines for sleep hygiene, through the meals to have to give you the most energy, or to improve your health status, or, to help reverse disease states. So it's really incredible what's possible with AI these days, and we're really excited about it. So yeah, thanks for asking.
Can I ask Marianne to help me with that?
Absolutely. We'll do a case study with you, Lizi.
I'd like to share with all the Spanish, because I'm sure you're gonna do this in Spanish ASAP.
Yes.
And I would love to share with all, because I mean, I already have so many sessions, thank God, in Brain Tap, because it's a technology that I use and that has helped me transform my life and heal. So it would be amazing to see what this says about me, and being able to share with our friends, like I hear it like teachings, like very wise but loving at the same time, not as we usually I did before, like snap out with, and just when I let go and let God, things just happen, and amazing people like you come in. So thanks for sharing this about Shai, and thanks for us being incredible pioneers in Spanish for this incredible AI platform. It's like that I'm going to try very soon, hopefully.
Thank you, Lizi. Well, I'd be very excited to support you in that. And we just want to help the world. And I feel that everybody in the world needs some sort of support. And that probably leads into your question before. Sorry, it took me a while to answer it. But how I see people, I can see if there's a physical problem in people, like if there's an issue with their biology or their physiology not working properly, and that may be something to do with their cardiovascular system, or their blood, or their lungs, or any of their sort of systems. And I can't explain it still. As a scientist, I still can't explain how I can see that, but I can see things like that. I can also see emotional things in people that's there. I can see the patterns that people have in their minds. I can see the energy that's around people. And it sounds very weird, and it used to sound very weird to say that, but actually it's very scientific now. You can quantify and measure someone's biofield. It's very tangible, and everybody's quite accepted the fact that electricity is literally how our body works, that we have neurons that fire that tell us what to do, how to move, how to speak, how to do everything. We're just driven by electricity, which is just energy. Electricity I use interchangeably, and I can see that around people or in people. So it's very interesting. One of the layers and integrations that we built in the technology is to do with what we call geomedicine, which is how the environment and the energy in the environment impacts us as humans, which is something we haven't really well understood. The ancient wisdom has been there for many decades, or not decades, millennia, but it's something that's very newer to us in the Western world. But we can quantify what's happening in the environment around us and how that impacts us in our health and our mind as well. So I see that in people, and as you know, because we obviously, that's how we met. We were kind of going through experience, but we were really trying to have this technology replicate as much of that as possible, because we're all very different in our bodies, but we're already different in our minds. We're already different spiritually, and our spirits that are here having this physical experience. We're all very different on all the levels all the time. And so to be able to help quantify that for people, I really feel like everybody needs something at some level, and some people are struggling with their physical health, some people with their mental health, some people with their emotional health, some people with their spiritual health, some people with their energetic health. There's a lot of different things that can be at play for somebody. And as humans, we don't usually understand all those levels, or we don't usually think about all those levels, or don't often even comprehend those. We just say, oh, my back's sore, or my neck's sore, or I can't eat properly, or if I have no energy. And so we just think of things that are symptoms, and we're struggling with them, but often or always there's different levels of things that contribute towards why you feel like that. And the most exciting thing is you can change that. And that's been an exciting part of my journey in that world as well.
We're so blessed to have you today, my dear Matt Riemann. Matt, I have more questions for you.
Okay.
I have questions also, for example, about the documentary that you're filming. Can you let us know a little bit about that? I mean, I want to see it ASAP too. So shout it out, man. Oh my God.
So that was a documentary. So there's a few producers, Emmy award-winning producers, that approached me because they've been aware of the work that we've been doing in the healing space, and they were very interested in transformational work and miraculous healings that can be done. And so, a long story short, we started filming about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I think now. We started in Hawaii, and the intention for the documentary is miraculous healings. So people that have cancer, MS, Parkinson's, other things like that, will be able to come along and sort of have a healing that's filmed on camera, and produce a documentary that's there that people can see the power of what's possible in a supernatural space, but also to be able to give hope to them, for anybody who's suffering, because there's so many people in the world that are suffering from what we would have as medically incurable diagnoses, such as, if it's cancer or MS or Parkinson's, where people are told, this is what you have for life, it will progressively get worse, you have to manage this forever, and you'll hopefully live as much as you can of your life. What I see is different to that. And even though I grew up in science and medicine, I understand that approach, and that's the best we know in science and medicine. I also see things that are different. And just because you can't explain it, or just because you can't understand it, doesn't mean it's not real. And so I know that that's real. I've experienced this for 20 or 25 years with people.
I've experienced it. I'll talk about it.
Thank you.
Of course.
We've had people that have been through processes with us that have healed from everything from cancer through to fibromyalgia, muscular dystrophy, like all those things, of Parkinson's, etc. So I've seen it and witnessed it firsthand many times over all the decades, and so I know it's possible. And so this documentary is designed or aimed to give hope to people who think that there's no hope, and I'm stuck with this. And like you said in your story, seen all the doctors, like my story, seen all the doctors, tried all the things, couldn't get the result, and still suffering.
And if you need like a long COVID candidate for your Hawaii study, I'm in. You know why? Not really, Matt. Because that's something that it's very important to talk about, because everything that has happened to my body was from 2020 to today. I would say 2021, and it started with the nervous system and the heart, and then it went to all the stomach, and the diagnosis of SIBO, and then candidiasis, and then it's like and then the migraines went up again, and it was like, what? So there's many people that are suffering from experiences of COVID. There's also clinics that are opening up on long COVID, because like I'm one of those people that are doing everything, like stopping all the glucose, all the gluten, and still the diarrhea sometimes. So I think it's really important to address this terrible consequence of something that when it happened to some of us, it was when the images were so shocking of bodies being dumped. So I think it was also psychological, as you say. You were talking about, we are not just one level. We are not only our thoughts, but definitely what we see, who we talk to, what we decide that surrounds us is gonna impact. And what you're doing in this amazing app with AI used medically and scientifically is helping us understand where our imbalances are physically and energetically and spiritually and medically and bodily, to do something about it. And it has a 90% accuracy. So that's amazing, and I can't wait. And addressing long COVID in the documentary, which is, when is it gonna come out? Like, how long are you filming? When are we gonna see it? I love it.
I think unfortunately it's going to be a little bit longer. We're going to do our next filming session we're doing in February in California.
Wow.
And then the one after that, we're doing the filming in, I think it's California too, in June. So we've still got probably 6 months worth of filming to go to get the, you know, all the things they want to have included in it. And yeah, there's some really amazing things that are coming. Like the things that we've done so far have been really incredible. The healings that have happened and the people that are coming are going to be really amazing. So I'm excited for the final product to be able to just, again, give that message of hope to people who are suffering from anything, long COVID included. But there's so many people who are just think they're, you know, sentenced to this thing for life when it's not true. They just don't know anything different, don't know other ways. So I'm really hopeful that it'll bring a lot of hope to people and be a really interesting, eye-opening experience for people to watch that. And to hopefully get intrigued and interested about how they can heal themselves in the process. So yeah, thanks.
I'm interested. I'm definitely interested, and I'm sure many of the people are going to be extremely interested and wait. There we go. I have another question.
Yeah.
Do you work one-on-one? Because I know you have these experiences, but I don't know if they would be called immersion seminars experience, but you also love to work with people, and you've been doing this for a very long time, Matt. Can you tell us a little bit of this part of you too? I mean, I want the people that speak Spanish, even though I'm interviewing in English, to know who I am, and they are, through this amazing technology. You're in Australia and me in Mexico City to talk about something so important for the universal health. So you also have these get-togethers. Can you tell me a little bit about them, please?
Yeah. So we have there's a lot of interesting parts of that journey, and these days I do 3 retreats each year. That's sort of the way for one-on-ones. I got like for the work we're doing with the technology and other things, that's been, I believe, the method or the medium that can help impact the most people at scale. And so for me to spend my time to help more people at scale, I think is where I'm supposed to be. But I still really absolutely love plugging in. So I do 3 retreats a year that's there, and people usually who have some sort of significant illness or disease come along to that for healing.
Wow.
They usually come with it and leave without it. Their retreats go for 7 days.
7 days?
Yeah. So it's been
are they, I have to ask this question a lot of this. Do you take everything, like all the goodies, away from them during 7 days? Be honest, man. No, tell us a little bit of what it is. I mean, what makes your retreat special? What makes your retreat different?
Yeah.
Like, if I decide to go,
it's a good question. So we actually have, we address things on all those levels that we just talked about earlier. And it starts by me having a look at people and seeing what's there. And we have a personal chef that's there. So let's say for Lizi, for example, it'll cook exactly the right foods for you that you need every single meal for the whole week to change things. So some people end up doing detoxes. Some people are eating big fat steaks. Other people are on vegan diets. So it just depends on the person. And that's one of the big messages for the nutrition. Everybody's trying to find out, oh, what diet should I do? You should do the diet that's right for you. That's what you should do, not just a generic thing. So they cook specific, ingredients that are there with the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients you need. They, whip up amazing things. So that's one layer, is the food that's there. And we have the exercise layer where somebody will take you through that, whether it's from deep breathing to high intensity workouts, depending on the person and where they're at with those sorts of things. We go through a lot of work around people on their emotional clearing. We have incredible healers that are part of the retreats that go through that with people. We do a lot of mind reprogramming work. So we go and reprogram a lot of beliefs that people might have that's there, if that's an issue for them that's causing them to not be where they need to be. We have medical doctors that go through and have specific protocols for certain, like very powerful condensed supplements or other things that are there, who are very alternative and Eastern, Western medicine, so integrated medicine doctors that can understand about how to change things. And if someone's had issues with antibiotics, what things can actually...
Matt, I'm losing you. Matt.
So a lot of those...
there you are. I was losing you. I was about to translate in Spanish, que Matt me estaba contando que hace 3 retiros al año y que estos retiros llevan muchos años haciéndolo y son retiros a los que generalmente asisten personas que están con enfermedades terminales y que entran enfermos y salen súper bien. Y es increíble lo que ustedes están leyendo y suena como mágico, pero pues muchas de las cosas que suceden no están en esta parte de los ojos que ven, sino una parte de una inteligencia muchísimo más profunda y sabia. Y bueno, me estaba comentando que en estos retiros yo le dije, santo Dios, le quites a la gente todo, y entonces me estaba contando que en estos retiros llevan chefs en los que, bueno, pues si a ti, Lizi, te cae mal la carne, bueno, pues te van a hacer a ti la comida que tu cuerpo, porque ya hicieron un escaneo, además él hizo este escaneo de tu cuerpo, pues qué te cae bien y qué te cae mal. Y además tiene un programa de ejercicio, pero además hay un equipo de personas que trabajan en toda la parte de estos pensamientos limitantes, restrictivos, el no puedo, no me va a salir, o me voy a morir, o no me voy a curar, o no me... Y entonces tiene a todo un equipo trabajando también desde la parte mental. Sorry, I was catching up when in Spanish to tell them that you were talking about your retreats, and they were 7 days, son 7 días, and that you had chefs that were preparing the food for the people, like very, very well oriented after you scan them, and they've been checked in every way, that really come in very sick and get out very healed. But it's an immersion in your health. And so I imagine that it's people that really want to get better when they tell you really, really want to get better. And when's your next retreat?
Yeah, the next retreat we're having is in February, but that one's full already. I think there may be a spot or two in the June retreat, and then we have one in October this year as well. So if you want, you can go to my website and you can find out more. So mattriemann.com. And
it's mattriemann.com, because I'm going to write it down under in the, okay. There is the information, right?
Yeah, so mattriemann.com. And you'll find out about retreats and some of the other work, and that you'll find out about the technology and other things there too, if you're interested.
Definitely. Everything sounds amazing. Matt, we're going to have to almost finish for this together. But you're really giving us a lot of knowledge. And when I say think out of the box, it's that we need to start thinking out of the box. We need to start thinking out of what they told us was the only way we could reach health or a better way of living, biohacking, neuroscience, brain training, wellness. I mean, science, medicine, it's in evolution, it's changing, it's incredible what's going on, and we're energy. So this is not magic. This is what it is. It's just that nobody told us about it, but it is what it is. So if you're interested in this, please share this program, because many people don't know or don't understand that. How do you scan people? Andrea is asking you. How do you scan people?
So with the technology, we just use the smartphone camera. And if I'm doing it personally, I'll just look at somebody and have that information that's kind of there that I can see. So
he did it to me, literally. And I had Dr. Betty, which is going to be a speaker, and Dr. Fab. I adore Dr. Betty. If I don't get to see you guys, you just gotta give her 10 hugs from my part. I love her so much. I want her on the show too, as SAP. She had a problem with her phone, They hacked her WhatsApp. You know, those things happen. So yes, I can tell Andrea what you did.
Sure.
I was in terrible pain. We were at the Breakers. I was trying to enjoy this amazing event that Dr. Fab organized for all of us in this Fab life. And I was like, well, I'm not sure, Matt, if it was Matt that offered for sure, or it was me that asked, or it just happened because the universe said, yeah, I was in pain. So we went to my room, or to your room, I don't remember where it was. Dr. Betty, Annie, is a doctor, my sister. She's also a physician. And well, they saw it's filmed. You can go into it's in my Instagram. And you healed me. So you definitely saw what was going on. So I don't know exactly how you do it, but were you explaining was that it's something that it's a gift, a supernatural gift that you've had for how many years, Matt? You were born.
Yeah, for decades, actually. It's been, a long time.
Were you born with it?
Well, I became more aware of it in my 20s. So, I don't know specifically. I remember back to times where I think I probably had it the whole time, but I just wasn't aware of it. But yeah, it's been something I've explored a lot over the last couple of decades.
Amazing. I love it. And I'm a testimonial, and you can check it in the Instagram, how he did heal me. Okay. So tell me, Matt, I would ask you to end this little short time we had together, but we can do it whenever we both want, which is all the time, because I want to be part of what you're doing and letting the world know how amazing you are. And you have an incredible team, and the feeling of helping is there. And since I met you, one of the amazing supernatural powers that you have is being very humble. And just great teachers are humble. And you're very wise. And you're a very good human being. And you're very smart. But Matt, saying all of this, like if you had some Matt tips, like my Lizi tips, for everybody that has decided to join us and stay today. It's so beautiful what Venus has been saying, because she's been all along saying, wow, this has been a wow experience for me, and thank you. So if it has been also a good experience for you, share this program because it's amazing. And if you've liked it, why don't you let Matt know what you think about him and what he's talking about. And if you have any questions while he gives us some tips.
Well, thank you, Lizi. Thank you you for your kind words. I am very grateful for being on here and for sharing this with people. And you're right, I just want to share the message of health and hope and happiness with the world. And so my tips for anyone who's listening to this right now, the number one tip is just find out who you are and do what's right for you. It sounds really simple, but it's really powerful to know that you're different. You're a completely different body, a completely different mind, a completely different spirit to anyone else on the planet. Like there's 8 billion of us and you're different to every other person that's here. Even if you're an identical twin, you're still different to everybody else out there. And so when it's hard and confusing for people to know what they're supposed to eat or sleep or how to manage stress or what exercise to do or how to manage or what do I do with my life, you know, everything from what's my purpose for being on the planet through to what am I supposed to eat for breakfast to have energy through the day. There's answers to all those things. And my just wish for everybody is to take a moment to find out who you are, to really just get who you are at your core, and then just do what's right for you, for your physical body, for your mind, for your emotional health, for your spiritual health, because I believe that we're here for an incredible journey together on the planet. And the fact is that most of us are suffering, but I really believe that if we can just truly understand who we are and what we need, we can all be thriving. And so I'd love to just invite everybody to go through that process if you haven't for a long time. And if you want a starting point, that's what the technology is designed for, is to help people start there in case they aren't sort of plugged into that themselves.
Thank you, Matt. I love you very much. And thanks to your team, which have been so kind, and to Marianne in particular. And thank you for letting us know that happiness and health and well-being do exist. And they're exactly at the distance of this, if you want to have it. So thanks for sharing knowledge, and thanks for sharing you and everything you're doing with the world. Thank you, Matt. I love you very much. God bless you, and see you very, very soon. Hopefully very, very soon.
Thank you so much, Lizi, and thank you everyone for dialing in. And I just am honored to be here sharing this conversation. Love you lots too, Lizi, and thank you. We'll see you again soon, and thank you for today.
Thank you. God bless you. Mis queridas amigas y amigos, nos tenemos que ir. Pero ¿qué tal la mañanera? My favorite biohacker. That's what James Taylor says. Here we go. Ay, gracias a todos por unirse. Esto es una gran entrevista. Matt es un gran hombre y la verdad para tener traducida, por supuesto, pero si te gustó, si te sirvió, pon un corazón y compártela con todas las personas que quieran tener la salud muchísimo más cerca. O sea, tan cerca que la pueden encontrar aquí. Pero ¿sabes dónde la tienes que encontrar? Como dijo Matt, encontrando quién eres, qué es lo que a ti te hace bien, qué es lo que a ti te gusta, qué es lo que tú necesitas. Y entonces que conviertas eso en una prioridad. Que Dios me los bendiga y nos vemos muy, pero muy pronto. Gracias por unirse y gracias por compartir también.